Let me guess. You're here because you feel a little off. Maybe it's one of those days where life feels like a flat soda. Technically fine, but not really hitting the spot. If that sounds about right, good for me. You're watching this video, but if I'm honest, I wish you didn't need to be here. Since you are, though, let's make it count. Today we talk about why we're not happy. Spoiler alert, it's not just you, it's all of us. We're all in this together. Oh, and by the time this video ends, I want you to take action. Make this the last video you watch on this topic. Next time you come around, I want to see a happier, lighter version of you so we can talk about other stuff. Let's start. Why is no one happy these days? Like seriously, we have smartphones, same-day delivery, and 24/7 access to memes, but everyone's walking around like they've lost a lottery ticket worth $1 million. How about we break it down? First up is, of course, social media. The thing we love to hate but can't stop scrolling. Social media is like that friend who's always bragging about their perfect life. You know the one. Vacationing in Bali, sipping on overpriced lattes, dining at expensive restaurants, and somehow looking flawless even when they just woke up. The problem? It's all curated. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Of course you're going to feel like garbage. It's like bringing a fork to a soup party. It doesn't even make sense. Next, let's talk about work. Thanks to hustle culture, we're all supposed to be grinding 24/7. Got a job? Great, now start a side hustle. Got a side hustle? Cool, now monetize your hobbies. It's like we're all part of a giant race to see who burns out first. And the prize for winning? A lifetime supply of stress and back pain. Lovely. Then comes loneliness. Ironically, we're more connected than ever, yet so many of us feel alone. Like, you have 500 friends on Facebook, but 0 people to call when your life falls apart. The math isn't mathing. Community used to be something we lived in every day. Now, it feels like we're all ships passing in the night, anchored to our phones instead of each other. Okay, big one. Money. The root of so much stress. These days, it feels like everything is getting more expensive. Rent, groceries, even a simple cup of coffee costs more than it used to. And don't even get me started on trying to save for the future. It's like running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. For many people, the dream isn't even buying a house anymore. It's just making it through the month without checking their balance 10 times a day. Financial stress isn't just frustrating, it's exhausting. Perfectionism is another killer. It's like trying to win a game with no finish line. There's always something you're not quite good enough at. Didn't wake up at 5 a.m.? Failed. Ate a donut instead of a smoothie? Failed. Didn't crush it at work and the gym in the same day? Yep, failed. Last one for now, doom scrolling. You know, that thing where you promise yourself you'll check one quick headline, and 2 hours later, you're knee-deep in articles about disasters, scandals, and how the world might end next Tuesday. It's no surprise we're all on edge. The news thrives on negativity. It's like they've got a competition to see who can stress us out the most. And here we are, refreshing the feed like we're going to find good news buried somewhere. Spoiler alert, we won't. Okay, let's hit pause on the doom and gloom. We get it, life is rough. I'm sure you've had your troubles for the day, and I don't want to stress you out more. So here's the good news. Life doesn't have to stay that way. Yes, there are ways to fight back. Let's get into them, shall we? Tame social media. First, take control of social media. Unfollow anyone who makes you feel like garbage. Curate your feed with accounts that inspire you. And seriously, stop comparing yourself to that celebrity or influencer. You don't look like them because, well, you're not them. And that's perfectly fine. You're not supposed to be a copy. You're supposed to be you. Set work boundaries. Turn off email notifications after work hours. No one's dying because you didn't reply to an email at midnight. Unless you're a doctor, in which case, maybe don't listen to me. And hey, take your vacation days. Don't be that person who lets them expire. You earned them. So go use them, even if it's just a staycation with snacks and Netflix. Reconnect with people. Feeling lonely? It's time to rebuild those connections. Start small. Call an old friend, send a message to someone you haven't talked to in a while, or even just say hi to your neighbor. Sometimes the tiniest gesture can open the door to something bigger. Even virtual connections can make a difference. Schedule a Zoom call, play an online game with friends, or simply check in with someone you care about. The point is, we're not meant to do life alone. So stop waiting and make that first move. Budget and simplify. Creating a budget isn't about giving up everything you love. It's about making sure your money works for you, not against you. Want your daily coffee? Keep it. Just maybe skip buying things you don't need. Sometimes, simplifying your life is the best financial strategy. Less stuff, less stress. And guess what? Happiness isn't about owning more, it's about needing less. Embrace imperfection. Here's the thing about perfection. It's a myth. Perfection isn't what makes you human. Imperfection is. Start embracing the beauty of good enough. Your house doesn't need to look like a showroom. Your work doesn't need to win awards every single time. You don't need to dress up like you're going to walk on a red carpet. Nobody's observing you with a magnifying glass, trust me. And if someone is, feel sorry for them, ignore them, and move on. You see, the people who love you don't care about your flaws. They probably love you because of them. So stop worrying about what isn't perfect and start focusing on what's real. Pick up a hobby. Ever notice how time flies when you're doing something you love? That's the magic of hobbies. Whether it's gardening, learning an instrument, or even mastering the art of making the perfect cup of tea, hobbies give you a sense of accomplishment without the pressure. They remind you that life isn't just about deadlines and productivity. It's okay to do something just because it makes you happy. And no, you don't have to be good at it. The point isn't perfection, it's enjoying the process. So go ahead, pick up that guitar, that brush, or those hiking boots, and let yourself create, explore, or just unwind. Meditate, even if you think you can't. Yeah, I know, you've been hearing about it everywhere lately, like it's the new drink 8 glasses of water thing. But here's the deal, it works, seriously. And not in some magical cure-all kind of way, but in a your brain feels a little less like a crowded train station kind of way. You don't need incense or a meditation retreat in the Himalayas. Just sit somewhere quiet. Play a 5-minute guided meditation video on YouTube. Close your eyes and breathe. That's it. Even 5 minutes can make you feel like you've hit the pause button on all the noise. And look, you don't have to do it perfectly. Thoughts will pop up. Did I leave the stove on? Why did I say that in 2014? That's fine. The point isn't to erase your thoughts. It's to notice them, let them go, and focus back on your breath. All right, we've talked about a lot today. So now what? Do we click on the next video in the queue, or do we actually take a step forward? Look, I get it. Breaking old habits isn't easy. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and have everything magically figured out just because a video told you to. But here's the thing. You don't have to change everything all at once. Start small. Pick one thing. Just one. Maybe you turn off your notifications tonight, or you call a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe you try meditating for 5 minutes, or finally start that hobby you've been putting off. The point is to take action, because even the tiniest step forward is still progress. And the fact that you're still here, watching this, means you're ready to start. At the end of the day, happiness isn't about having a perfect life. It's about finding balance, learning to let go of what doesn't matter and holding on to what does. A little less comparison, a little more connection, a little less pressure, a little more presence. So take a breath, embrace the chaos, and remember, happiness isn't a destination. It's a journey, one small step at a time. We can't really avoid the storms, but we can definitely learn how to dance in the rain.